Santosh, does Bihar have, does it have that Gen Z consciousness, you know? See, Gen Z is just not age, you know, you need a Gen Z consciousness. It's like, you know, why can't we create Silicon Valley in India? Because it's a culture. You got to create that West Coast culture. So is there a Gen Z consciousness in Bihar? Do we have that?
We don't find that. It is divided out there. If you talk to youth, they are disenchanted. A section of them is disenchanted. Rural youth, of course, they talk about Tejashwi, they talk about Jan Suraj, but urban youth. When you talk to rural youth, it is cast out there. What Astuni sir said, I am tempted to, since you have raised the level of the debate, I am tempted to use some phrases from my first book, Ruled or Misruled. I defined Lalu Prasad's regime in 4 terms: mandalization of politics, secularization of politics, Yadavization of politics, and criminalization of politics. The fourth one is defines, of course, the Jungle Raj. Jungle Raj per se, just for readers, you must be also knowing it was just a term used in oral observation of Patna High Court in terms of civic failure in Patna, civic mismanagement in Patna. It had nothing to do with lawlessness of the state. But what we are talking about, we're talking about 38 massacres, we're talking about 566 killings during those years, we're talking about kidnapping for ransom, we're talking about road robberies, all those memories. It is an election of two memories, one of Lalu Prasad and Rabri Devi's memories, regime's memories, one of Nitish Kumar's regime's memories. It is election of two cumulative memories, and people have to choose between those two memories. That is the invocation. That is where Jungle Raj term comes. It is handed over from one generation to another like a folklore. It's sad, but that is how it is. It has been that we find in the Bihar.
Bhattiji, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Do you agree with the sort of summarization which Santosh has done, that it's like a folklore handed from one generation to another? And another point to be noted is, correct me if I'm wrong, after 1989 Bhagalpur riots, 88 or 89? 89 riots, no big Hindu-Muslim riot has taken place in Bihar either.
Yeah, you are very right that Bihar is in that way is going to be a very stable state and also progressive, as Ashwini has said. And you know, Bihar, in terms of, because people are talking about memory as a theme, I think. I'll tell you a very interesting thing that when I was talking to the people in the rural villages, I never heard term poor this time. No, poor, no one wants to call himself or herself poor. Even the area where CPIML candidates are contesting, where the poor and proletariat politics need to be as a part of discourse, they are also, no one wants to call themselves poor. A new term has replaced poor, that is beneficiary. Because everyone wants to discuss about ye mila, ye nahi mila, ye milna, wo ye de raha hai, wo de raha hai. It's like that. So it's a huge growth, a change in the people consciousness. That is the that shift is towards a making of beneficiary consciousness. A new subjectivity has emerged among vulnerable and marginal communities. And because of that consciousness, you know, that a very interesting thing is happening. If you see within 5 years, the circle of beneficiary has grown. Around 3 crores Jan Dhan Yojana beneficiaries. Around 1.5 crore. If you see in any scheme, you can find the growth of the beneficiaries. In Jan Dhan Yojana, 1.5 time growth. So that is going to impact the Bihar politics in big way, beyond the caste, beyond the community, beyond the communal identities, etc. So that's one thing. Second thing is the changing Bihar memory. You know, we are from the. I am from the Bihar also, and when I came from there, that time a very different kind of Bihar we had in our we experienced. Now a very different kind of Bihar. When we go to Bihar, we find a very different kind of Bihar. Big roads, light, pani, everything. So the first level of infrastructural development we have acquired. The first level of development, road, bijli, pani, sadak, etc. Second level, education, health, etc. We are progressing in that. So slowly Bihar is a state of aspiration. This aspirational state, and not only aspirational state as a notion, but Biharis, the Republic of Bihar, are trying to emerge themselves, develop themselves, their capacity to acquire through the politics, acquire through their own everyday work and the activities, resilience, a kind of adjustment, and the kind of wisdom, folk wisdom. Santoshji was telling about the folklore. So I will tell the Bihari people has a very in-depth folk wisdom, and the folk wisdom emerged from their everyday life, and that is expressed in their politics too. Yes, there is a violence, there is a conflict. Bihar is a land of social movement. Bihar is a land of political movements. A lot of things are happening, but these all churning are going towards nowadays in a proper developmental era, developmental time, and we should be thankful to the Nitish Kumar ji and others, the kind of BJP politics, the new era of developmentalism, developmental hope have emerged in Bihar, and Bihari people are trying to acquire that.
Okay. KV, you want to? Yes, you can ask a question, because you ask a question, then we're going to go to the smaller parties. Thank you. Chitra Batham also joins me from the Congress party. Good morning, madam. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. Yes, Mr. Prasad.
This is to Professor Narayan. 2005, I remember there was a very clear message everybody talked about, that Bihar has broken away from the caste barrier by voting Mr. Nitish Kumar. That was the popular sentiment. But 20 years down the line, we still keep on harping on those issues. While you talk of development, but most politicians do tell you development doesn't get you votes. So do you find a contradiction in that?